Hello students, today we will be taking up with question number 14 of your study material. Compared to the previous questions, it is a bit simple one. The previous question what we had in the last lecture, if you compare with that, it will be a simple one. So take out your textbooks, study material, notebooks and be ready with it. Yes, look at it. Healthcare Limited issued 75,000 shares. Okay, underline issued 75,000 shares. So issued capital is 75,000 shares of rupees 10 each at a premium of rupees 2 per share, means issue price will be 12 rupees, of which 15,000 shares were issued to suppliers of raw materials for consideration other than cash. Now supplier of raw materials means these raw materials are goods for the business. Okay, raw materials are goods for the business. So for this the entry will be goods comes in, debit what comes in, purchase account debit. And as we have done earlier also, combined entry will be passed. So here shares goes out, credit what goes out directly to equity share capital account. I repeat it, raw materials are goods for a company. For a manufacturing company, raw materials are goods. So goods comes in, debit what comes in, purchase account debit, shares goes out, credit what goes out to equity share capital account directly with 15,000 into 10, 1,50,000. Remaining 60,000, 75 minus 15, remaining 60,000 shares were offered to the public payable as under. So these are offered for cash. Offered to the public means they are issued for cash. On application 3 rupees, allotment 4 including premium, which is given here as 2 rupees, means 4 minus 2, remaining 2 is towards the face value. First call 2 rupees and final call 3 rupees. 4 installments are there. 3 plus 4 minus 2, 2 rupees of allotment. So 3 plus 2, 5 towards the face value, plus 2, 7 plus 3, 10. You can cross check, it is equal to face value rupees 10. Now applications were received for 1 lakh shares. So over subscription, allotment was made on pro rata basis to the applicants for 80,000 shares. Means against 80,000 shares we have made pro rata allotment. How many shares are issued? 60,000. So against 80,000 shares if we have made pro rata allotment, we would have allotted how many shares? 60,000 shares. This is category 1. Okay. Applicants for 80,000 shares means second column, number of applications received 80,000, and full allotment was made on this. Allotment was made on pro rata basis to applicants of 80,000 shares, means how many shares can we allot them? We have issued 60,000 shares in the public, so we cannot allot more than 60,000 shares. So against this 80,000 shares we have allotted 60,000 shares. Remaining applications were rejected, that is category 2. Total we have received 1 lakh applications. Out of that 80,000 applications come in category 1 where pro rata allotment is done. So remaining how many applications are rejected? 1 lakh minus 80,000, remaining 20,000 applications are rejected. Okay, so here category 1 is where applications received are 80,000, allotment done is 60,000 on pro rata basis. Category 2 rejected applications category, 1 lakh minus 80,000, remaining 20,000 applications come in category 2 where rejected means number of shares allotted in column 4 will come nil. If any confusion, pause the video, rewind and listen to this part again. Excess money received on application was adjusted against allotment money. Clearly given, excess money is adjusted against allotment money means mostly you will not have any adjustment towards the call. However, we will make the column of call, but we will see it when we solve the question that we don't have any adjustment towards the call. You will verify that automatically when we solve the question, because as per the language it is given excess money received on application was adjusted against allotment money, means only so much oversubscription or so much excess money will be there that adjustment can go only till allotment. After allotment, surplus will only not be left out to adjust anything with call. That's why it is given in the question, excess money received on application was adjusted only against allotment money. Mr. Naresh, to whom 4,000 shares were allotted, underline this, failed to pay both the calls. So these are calls in arrears. But failed to pay both the calls means what all money he has not paid, first call and final call. Okay. These shares were subsequently forfeited, means after the final call they are forfeited. Subsequently forfeited means they are forfeited after final call. Out of the forfeiture shares or forfeited shares, after the forfeited shares, 3,000 shares were reissued. 4,000 are forfeited, but only 3,000 are reissued. So if you all remember that forfeitures working, you will divide in two parts. 3,000 reissued and 1,000 not reissued. I repeat, amount forfeited is working, we will have forfeiture on 4,000 shares, but we will divide in two parts, 3,000 reissued and 1,000 not reissued. Because in the last journal entry, when we count profit, we have to count only on 3,000 shares which are reissued. So amount forfeited will have to be divided in two parts. 3,000 shares were reissued to Mahesh as fully paid up at rupees 7 per share. Fully paid up at rupees 7. So against 10 rupees 7 is collected, means 3 rupees is discount. Company transferred unpaid money to calls in arrears account. Every question this sentence is given, we have to transfer to calls in arrears. Pass necessary journal entries in the books of Healthcare Limited to record the above transactions. So let's take up with the workings. Working note 1, all of you can pause the video and make the column for this workings, and then you can play the video. I will be doing it in continuation only. So workings, working note 1. Installments. Now all of you write down, there are 4 installments: application, allotment, first call and final call. Now application is given 3 rupees. There is no premium with application, total also 3. Allotment is given 4 but including premium of 2, so 4 minus 2, 2 of face value plus 2 of premium, total 4. First call is 2 rupees and final call is 3 rupees. Total 3 plus 2, 5 plus 2, 7 plus 3, 10, plus 2 of premium, and total is 12. Now calls in arrears, only one person has not paid the money, Mr. Naresh. So in calls in arrears we have Mr. Naresh. And what all installments he has not paid? Both the calls. He is holding 4,000 shares. Application he has paid, allotment he has paid. Both the calls means first call is not paid on 4,000 shares. Final call is not paid on 4,000 shares. I hope everyone is clear with this. And after final call, forfeiture is done. Okay, forfeiture is done after final call. Now second workings, called up capital. Wherever required, you all can pause the video and write it down and then play the video. Now called up capital, since forfeiture is done after final call, called up capital is complete rupees 10 per share. Okay, called up capital is complete rupees 10 per share. Third workings of pro rata allotment. Again, as I said, all of you can pause the video and make these columns, and then you play the video to understand the workings of pro rata allotment. So all of you make these 8 columns fast. We already know first call, adjustment towards call won't be there because of that sentence, excess money received was adjusted only against allotment. Okay, pause the video and make the columns. Okay, now first category, read it once again. Allotment was made on pro rata basis to the applicants for 80,000 shares. Applicants for 80,000 shares. So in column 2, number of applications received 80,000. Now allotment was made. So how much allotment was made? Since we issued 60,000 shares, we have to allot 60,000 shares. So column 4, 60,000. Now category 2 is the rejected category, which we will take as balance. So total, okay, you can see the remaining applications were rejected. So what are the remaining? Total applications received 1 lakh. Total applications received 1 lakh. 1 lakh minus 80,000, 20,000 are rejected. Rejected means no allotment is done. Shares issued are 60,000, so total allotment is only 60,000. So these are the two categories. If any confusion, rewind the video and listen to it once again. Now column 2 we have to multiply with application money 3 rupees. So 80,000 into 3. 2,40,000 is application money received. 20,000 into 3, 60,000, total 3 lakhs. Same way this fourth column is also to be multiplied with application money of 3 rupees. So 60,000 into 3, 1,80,000 is application money due. Nil, no shares are allotted, rejected means nothing is due. Total 1,80,000 is due. Now, how will we find the surplus? You all remember that in the earlier questions also we have done it. So surplus is always obtained as column 3 minus column 5. Surplus, how will we find? Now we know column 3 minus column number 5. So for category 1 we will find the surplus. 2,40,000 column number 3 minus 1,80,000 column number 5. So surplus is 2,40,000 minus 1,80,000, that is 60,000. Now how much allotment money will become due on these shares? Since 60,000 shares are allotted, allotment money is 4 rupees. So what allotment money will become due? 60,000 into 4, 2,40,000. Now as we have discussed earlier that we will always adjust whichever amount is lower. So which amount will we adjust, 60,000 or 2,40,000? 60,000. Now after this no surplus will further remain. Entire 60 is adjusted, so now no surplus further remains to adjust with call and refund. Now you understand this language. Excess money received on application was adjusted against allotment money. Excess money received on application 60,000 is adjusted against allotment money. So question itself has given you the indication that after allotment no adjustment is there towards call or refund. However, second category is rejected. So this second category is 60,000 entire amount we have to refund. No allotment is done, so entire 60,000 is to be refunded. Total adjustment with allotment is 60,000. No adjustment with call refund is 60,000. Now in this question we don't have to find the call scenarios as we did in the last question number 12. Why? Last question 12 we did it because in allotment there were call scenarios. So I said to you entire amount of allotment cannot be call scenarios because some surplus is received. See, I'll go back to that question so that you people understand it. I am talking about question number 12. If you all see the workings of question number 12, here I explained you allotment call scenarios were there. That's why I said entire 30,000 cannot be call scenarios, and we did this calculations. But when are these kind of weird calculations to be done? Only when there are call scenarios in allotment and adjustment goes till allotment, or adjustment goes till call and there are call scenarios in call. But in this question what we are doing right now, in this particular question, adjustment goes till allotment but there are no call scenarios in allotment, so that calculation of allotment is not to be done. Moreover, even amount forfeited we will find by the same traditional manner as we used to do earlier. That's why I said in today's question in the beginning itself that this question will be simpler than the previous question. So how will we find it in usual for whom, Mr. Naresh? For Mr. Naresh, how will we find it? Cross multiply. What cross multiply? This 4,000 you will cross multiply with 3 plus 2, 5 rupees. Okay. On 4,000 shares he has not paid first call and final call. So whatever he has paid will be forfeited. What has he paid? Application 3 plus allotment to 5 rupees. So cross multiply, traditional method. 4,000 shares into 5 rupees is what he has paid. That is 20,000. Now this 20,000 you will divide in two parts. Which two parts? Reissued and non-reissued. Now it is given in the last paragraph in the question that 3,000 shares are reissued to Mr. Mahesh. So you'll divide this in two parts. Out of 4,000, 3,000 shares which are reissued and 1,000 shares which are non-reissued. What is the amount forfeited towards these shares? 3,000 shares into same 5 rupees. 15,000 is forfeited towards reissued shares, and 1,000 into 5 rupees. 5,000 is forfeited towards non-reissued shares. This amount is of no relevance in our solution, but in this 3,000 shares, 15,000 forfeited will be considered for finding profit. Okay. Now, journal entries in the books of Healthcare Limited. So all of you can pause the video and make this formats of journal entries in the books of Healthcare Limited, and then you can play the video again. Okay. So let's start with the entries. All entries are required here in the question. Again, read that part carefully. Here it is asked pass necessary journal entries, means we have to pass all the entries. What all entries? 2 of application, 2 of allotment, 2 of first call, 2 of final call. So 8 entries. 9th forfeiture, 10th reissue, 11th profit. 11 entries will come in all. First one. Bank is the receiver, debit the receiver, bank account debit, and temporarily we will transfer the money to equity share application account. What amount? Directly from working note of pro rata allotment, column number 3. What is the total application money received? 3 lakhs. Directly from pro rata workings, column number 3. What is the total application money received? 3 lakhs. Being application money received. Okay, being application money received. Then entry number 2, the comprehensive entry, equity share application account debit, now equity share application account we will debit, and then to equity share capital account, to equity share allotment account with the adjustment towards allotment, and to bank account. To calls in advance will not come because no amount is adjusted towards call. So straight away we will write to bank account. Now equity share application account you'll close and debit with full amount 3 lakhs. And you all remember this, column number 5, 6, 7 will not come as there is no calls in advance, 8. So column number 5, what amount do we have? 1,80,000. Okay, to equity share capital 1,80,000. Column number 6, 60,000 towards allotment. Column number 8, refund of 60,000. Column number 8, refund of 60,000. Being application money transferred. Okay, being application money transferred. Now, third one, equity share allotment account debit. Now, allotment includes premium also. So, do equity share capital account and also to security premium account. Now, allotment, total how many shares are allotted? 60,000. How much is allotment money? 4 rupees. 2 rupees face value will go to share capital, 2 rupees premium will go to security premium. So, allotment 60,000 into 4, 2,40,000. Now, out of that, 2 rupees of face value will go to share capital. So, 60,000 into 2, 1,20,000 share capital, and remaining 2 rupees of premium will go towards security premium. So, 60,000 into 2, 1,20,000. Being allotment money due. Okay, being allotment money due. Now we will pass the entry of receipt of allotment money. Do we have any calls in arrears in allotment? No. So will single entry come or combined entry come? Single entry. Bank account debit. Bank is the receiver, debit the receiver, bank account debit. And to close equity share allotment account, which we debited just now, we will reverse and credit to equity share allotment account. Now what amount will come? All of you should remember this. We have done it earlier in so many questions by now. 2,40,000 minus 60,000. So what will be received now, because 60,000 surplus is already received. So 2,40,000 minus, we already received surplus application towards allotment 60,000. So remaining 1,80,000 is to be received now. Okay, 2,40,000 minus 60,000, 1,80,000. Okay, this lot of practice is done already. Being allotment money received. Being allotment money received. Fifth entry. So 2 entries of allotment are done. Now 2 entries of first call. Equity share first call account debit to equity share capital account. Now, as 60,000 shares are allotted, same 60,000 shares, you will multiply with what amount of first call? 2 rupees. Okay, 60,000 shares into 2 rupees. So that comes to 1,20,000. Being first call money due. Now, sixth entry, call money received. Check it up. Do we have calls in arrears? Yes, we do have calls in arrears. So, combined entry will be passed or single entry? Combined entry will be passed, as we do have calls in areas. So combined entry will come. Okay. Further check it. Do we have calls in advance? No. So combined entry but only with calls in areas. Had there been calls in advance also, then that would also have been combined. Okay. But here we have calls in areas only. We don't have calls in advance. So what combined entry will come? Whatever money is received, bank is the receiver, debit the receiver, bank account debit. Whatever money is not received is still receivable, debit the receivable. So calls in arrears account debit, and you will transfer it to equity share final call, first call account. If there were calls in advance, then the entry would become bank account debit, calls in arrears account debit, and even calls in advance account debit to equity share first call account. Here first call account you will reverse and close with full amount 1,20,000. Calls in arrears, all of you can look at working note 1. 4,000 into 2. Calls in arrears are 8,000 in first call. Okay, 4,000 into 2. Calls in arrears 8,000, and 1,20,000 minus 8,000, 1,12,000 is received, being final call money received. First call, being first call money received. Now 2 entries of first call are done. Now same 2 entries of final call. Equity share final call account debit to equity share capital account $60,000 shares, same 60,000 shares. And how much is final call money? Check it everyone. 3 rupees is final call money now. So 60,000 into 3. 1,80,000. Being final call money due. Next, final call money received. Again, see the workings. Do we have calls in arrears? Yes. Do we have calls in advance? No. So combined entry only with calls in arrears will come. Whatever money is received, bank is the receiver, debit the receiver, bank account debit. Whatever money is not received, calls in arrears are still receivable, debit the receivable, calls in arrears account debit. And to close equity share final call account, we will reverse and credit it. So to equity share final call account. Now we will go reverse. Final call account we will credit with full amount 1,80,000. Calls in arrears, as you can see in the working note 1, 4,000 into 3, 12,000. And 1,80,000 minus 12,000, 1,68,000 is what is received, being final call money received. Now, after final call forfeiture. Now, what did we discuss in forfeiture? 2 accounts debit, 2 accounts credit. Do you all remember? Yes, 2 accounts. Which 2 accounts debit? Share capital debit, security premium debit. And which 2 accounts credit? To share forfeiture, to call scenarios. And which is the only account which may or may not get debited? Security premium. Let us see. Will security premium come? We have to debit it only if it is not paid by the shareholder. Here premium 2 rupees is with allotment. There are no calls in arrears in allotment, means Naresh has paid the premium. Naresh has paid application and allotment money, means he has paid premium also. So security premium will not get debited. Only 1 account debit and 2 accounts credit. equity share capital account debit, and two accounts credit to share forfeiture account and to calls in arrears account. Okay, security premium will not come. Now formula, equity share capital debit with number of shares forfeited 4,000 into called up capital 10 rupees, so 40,000. All of you can see here 4,000 shares are forfeited and called up capital is 10 rupees, so 4,000 into 10, 40,000. Share forfeiture on 4,000 shares is 20,000 from working note 4. 2 share forfeiture from working note 4 on 4,000 shares, it is 20,000. And to calls in arrears, all of you see here, these calls in arrears are 12,000, these calls in arrears are 8,000. So 12,000 plus 8,000, calls in arrears what we will credit is 20,000. And you all can cross check, 20,000 plus 20,000 is equal to 40,000, being 4,000 shares forfeited. Okay, being 4,000 shares forfeited. Now after forfeiture, reissue. So bank is the receiver, debit the receiver, bank account debit. Generally the shares are reissued at discount. So discount we will utilize from share forfeiture only, earlier forfeited amount. Share forfeiture account debit with the amount of discount, and 2 equity share capital account. Now bank account debit with number of shares reissued 3,000. Now don't take 4,000 shares. Okay, we did forfeit 4,000 shares of Naresh. Okay, we did forfeit 4,000 shares of Naresh, but then we reissued only 3,000 shares to Mr. Mahesh. So number of shares reissued 3,000 into reissue price is 7 rupees. Number of shares reissued 3,000 into reissue price 7, 21,000. Now share forfeiture with discount. So number of shares reissued 3,000. 7 rupees they are reissued means 3 rupees is the discount. So 3,000 into 3, 9,000. And share capital with 3,000, number of shares reissued into called up capital 10. That is 30,000. Being 3,000 shares reissued. Okay, being 3,000 shares reissued. Now last entry is for profit. Share forfeiture account debit. Okay, share forfeiture account debit to capital reserve account. Now how do we calculate this? I have told you earlier also, amount forfeited you will get from working note 4, but this amount. How many shares are issued? 3,000. So on this 3,000 shares only we have to find the profit. What is the amount forfeited on this 3,000 shares? 15,000. Minus same 3,000 shares. Same 3,000 shares. What is the discount? 9,000. So amount forfeited on reissued shares 15,000 minus discount 9,000 means what is the profit? 6,000. Being profit on forfeiture. Okay, being profit on forfeiture. Now formality of doing the totals. So totals 3, 6, 6 plus 840, 10 lakh 20, 11 lakh 40, 12 lakh 60, 14 lakh 40, 16 lakh 20, 16 lakh 60, 16 lakh 90, 16 lakh 96,000. So simple, I told you this question is easier than the previous one. All of you check your timetable and schedules. One similar question is mentioned in homework that you have to try on your own. It is exactly a similar one. Okay. Now just 1 minute, there is some correction to be done over here. I'm sorry. In the beginning, we also had this issue of shares to the suppliers. In the beginning, we also had this issue of shares, 15,000 shares to the supplier. So that entry will also come in the beginning. So what you all can do is, this entries you all can give the numbers 2 onwards. First entry would come different. Now since we have already done these entries, so at the end we will note it down. Numbers will change basically. This total also will write later on again. Your entry 1 in the beginning would be for issue of shares to the suppliers. So goods comes in, debit what comes in, goods account debit, shares goes out, credit what goes out to equity share capital account. Okay, goods comes in, debit what comes in, goods account debit, or you can also write purchase account debit. Either you can write goods account debit or you can write purchase account debit. And to equity share capital account, what amount? 15,000 shares are issued. So 15,000 into 10 rupees, 1,50,000. 15,000 into 10 rupees, 1,50,000. Being raw materials purchased against issue of shares. Being raw materials purchased against issue of shares. This would be your entry number 1, and then this will become entry 2, application money received 3, then 4th would be allotment money due, 5th will be allotment money received, 6th will be call money due, 7th will be call money received, 8th will be final call money due, 9th final call money received, 10th forfeiture, 11th profit, sorry, reissue, and 12th profit. Okay, so this entry should come in the beginning. 16,96,000 we already got as the total. In that we'll add 1,50,000. So 18,46,000. Okay, this is how the entries would be passed. If you already remembered this, then you are genius. You are even better than me. If you already remember this entry and you have done in the beginning, very good. If you have not done it, no problem. You write it at the end and number it as 1 and change the other numbers. Now one similar question is given in the timetable as homework that you all try on your own. In fact, it's an easier one because there is no issue of shares for consideration other than cash like this question. So only remaining entries will come. That first entry will not come. Okay. Bye everyone. Take care. See you in the next lecture. That will be all for today.